Hey parents, welcome to the channel. Today's video is a game review for parents on the game Worms Rumble. My game reviews for parents are focused on 5 factors. One is family friendliness, the next is the difficulty of the controls, next is whether or not the parent and child can play the game together, fourth, and probably most importantly, is the fun factor, and lastly, what type of longevity I expect the game to have. Let's jump in the review. What's up, Misfits? We're talking about the game Worms Rumble today. Worms Rumble just released and is available on PC, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5. And it's currently free with PlayStation Plus until January 4th, 2021. Overall, Worms Rumble gets a 4.2 out of 5 for me. It's a really enjoyable blow-off Steam game that doesn't require a significant commitment to enjoy. It's a game that you can pick up anytime or throw on while you're waiting for the corn dogs to finish or whatever you might be doing. I have 2 sons, and my 6-year-old and I really enjoy jumping around on the 2D levels and jetpacking as sheep shooting worms. And that phrase will make sense in a little while. The premise of the game is you're a worm moving around a beautifully imagined 2D level, eliminating other worms. There's an assortment of oddball weapons ranging from your classic rocket launcher and assault rifle to a sheep launcher and banana bombs. You can play alone or on a team, and the game is enabled for crossplay, which means PlayStation and computer players can play together. I give it a 4 out of 5 for family friendliness. It's similar to Fortnite in its cartoon feel. You're still using guns and shooting other worms, but there's no gore, and the worm's death animation is kind of just it flopping over. Otherwise, the levels are vibrant, they're fun, and they have in-level events like a rocket blasting off in the middle of the mall. My son particularly enjoyed swinging around on the plunger grappling hook or blasting off and buzzing up multiple floors with a jetpack. I give the controls a 3 out of 5. The controls can be difficult for younger players or players used to playing games on an iPad or mobile device. The PlayStation controller is a 2-joystick controller, with one stick controlling your movement and the second stick controlling your aim. In Worms Rumble, your aim stick operates like a clock, twisting your gun like the hands to point in a specific direction, which feels a little bit odd from your traditional first-person or third-person shooter. Movement is pretty dynamic between jumping, flying, or rolling around, so it helps to have experience with a 2-joystick controller. For parent-child play, I gave it a 4 out of 5. It's definitely a game that I can play with my sons. We particularly enjoyed playing the deathmatch mode, which allowed us to play in the same game together, but in a free-for-all so my son could try and get me. There's also a battle royale game mode called Last Worm Standing, which you can squad up and play in. The only downside to this compared to deathmatch is the fact that you don't get to respawn in Last Worm Standing, and in deathmatch you do. Deathmatch has a very fun feel, without the stress of feeling like you've got to go for the win. Worms Rumble is a good option for a parent that isn't really a gamer, but is looking to connect with one of their gamer kids. The only reason I don't give it a 5 out of 5 is because the difficulty of the controls could take away from the positive experience of playing. In terms of fun factor, the game gets a 5 out of 5. I've had a blast with it so far. It's a really nice change of pace from some of the sweaty, intense games I'm used to, like Call of Duty Warzone or Fortnite. It actually reminds me of back when I was first introduced to Fortnite. The game's combat definitely has a skill element, but it's not heavily skill dependent or filled with like pro level players. I like to throw it on and play a couple games at the end of a session to wind down a bit and make sure I have a smile on my face at the end of the night. In terms of longevity, I don't say anything that makes me think the game doesn't have staying power for the people that really enjoy it. I give it a 5 out of 5. Day 1 felt polished, it wasn't a buggy experience. I've had a couple of crashes, but nothing that makes me think that that'll be a regular occurrence. As long as the game has a player base, and they continue to introduce the occasional new level and weapon, I expect to be playing Worms Rumble with my sons for a while. Well, parents, I hope you enjoyed our game review of Worms Rumble. Overall, it's been a great experience so far. It's really nice to have a game that you can be competitive at and have fun, but you don't have to dedicate hours and hours of time to be good at. Plus, anytime a game sends my kids into giggle fits, it's always going to get an endorsement from me. If you enjoyed the review, do me a favor and click that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel for more game reviews in the future. To all my other misfits out there, take care.